Okay, welcome to the first video on how to use Sketchup. This version is 2015. It's going to look a little bit different than your desktop because this is my own laptop computer. So anyway, when you open up Sketchup in your programs listing, you're going to see something that looks just like this. You can take a look at all the different tutorials and things, but we're going to obviously go over a lot of this ourselves. In the template category, you do need to set up a template. The initial template that we're going to have you set up for our purposes in our class is, well, you can go a couple ways. You can either go a simple template, feet and inches, or the architectural design, feet and inches. For our purposes here, I'm just going to say simple template. We're going to start with that and say start using SketchUp. Okay, so when SketchUp comes up here, it's a pretty basic interface. I'm going to close a couple windows out here I had open earlier to make it simple for us. So this is pretty simple. This is the interface. It's got this this guy down here just to give us kind of a scale look at things. But here's the way SketchUp works. We've got all kinds of different tools up here, which are pretty simple once you learn to use them. This is the orbit tool, the pan tool, and then of course you have your different zoom tools here. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about zooming in and zooming out. That's probably the easiest thing first. So if you click on the zoom extents button, it's going to zoom right into this guy. Okay, so whatever you have drawn on your screen, that's exactly what it's going to snap to. So it's showing us full thing. Now if I click on this zoom tool and I click my mouse or my left mouse button and I move it down, so I'm just click and then moving my mouse down. Just like that, it zooms out, and if I hold down the mouse, left mouse button and I move it forward, it zooms out like that. Now, I don't like doing that. What I like doing, I'm going to make the selection tool active again. I like using my mouse wheel, so I zoom in and zoom out that way. I'm not hitting any buttons, I'm just scrolling the mouse wheel forward and then backward. That's the way I like to do it. The little hand here is your pan tool. You click on the pan, make that active. Now I'm clicking on the left mouse button. That goes to the left and right. I can go up and down as well. I'm holding down the left mouse button as I do that, and of course I can move this all around. Now this one is called the, I'm sorry, actually before I leave that one, if I press down on the mouse wheel, actually no, I'm sorry, we'll stick with the pan there. Cancel that. Orbit tool. If I click the orbit tool and press my left mouse button and hold it down, you can see how I can orbit. I'm still holding that left mouse button down and I can go around and go 360 degrees in either direction and do that orbit. Now, let me get my selection tool back. Now, if you hold down or depress the mouse wheel, so I'm pressing down on it, I can go ahead and do that orbit. So I'm still pressing down on that mouse wheel. As soon as I let it go, you see the orbit tool disappears, but that is going to be a really cool thing for you to do. And I believe, yep, there it is. There is a shortcut for pan as well. If you hold down the shift key, so I'm holding down shift on the keyboard, you can see that the cursor changes a little bit. It's got a plus and minus. And then I press down the mouse wheel. Now I can pan back and forth. It's got that little hand. So I'm still holding down the shift key and I'm pressing down that mouse wheel, not spinning it, but pressing it down. Okay, those are the basics of how you move around in SketchUp. And in other videos, obviously, we'll get into more detail in drawing and that. But that is the essentials, or are the essentials, of how you open up SketchUp and move around.